Are you aware that certain errors might make your eggs harmful? Eggs are frequently celebrated for being an excellent source of high-quality protein, loaded with essential vitamins and nutrients. However, what a lot of individuals fail to understand is that if they are not managed properly, they can turn detrimental to your body in ways you might not have anticipated. The reality is that the health impact of eggs depends entirely on how you prepare, store, and cook them. In this video, we will reveal 5 frequent errors that can turn eggs from being beneficial to potentially harmful. You might find some of these surprising, particularly if you've been enjoying eggs in the same manner for years without reconsideration. Once you grasp these essential errors, you can keep relishing eggs without any concerns about concealed health dangers. Keep watching until the conclusion, as this goes beyond merely steering clear of errors. It's all about implementing straightforward adjustments that can significantly enhance your health and overall well-being. We'll explain precisely what occurs when eggs are not prepared properly, and what alternatives you can consider to ensure they remain a safe and nutritious component of your diet. If you aim to keep your eggs as a health-enhancing superfood instead of a concealed risk, you definitely won't want to overlook this. Let's dive in now. First and foremost, overcooking eggs. One of the most frequent errors individuals commit while cooking eggs is subjecting them to excessive heat. Although eggs are rich in protein, healthy fats, and vital vitamins, overcooking them at high temperatures can lead to detrimental alterations in their composition. Overcooking eggs, whether by frying them until they become brown, boiling them for too long until the yolk turns a grayish-green, or scrambling them at high heat, causes oxidation that can result in the creation of harmful compounds. Oxidized cholesterol is specifically associated with heightened inflammation and an elevated risk of heart disease. A strong sulfuric smell after boiling eggs for too long indicates that they have been overcooked. The reaction occurs due to the sulfur present in the egg whites interacting with the iron found in the yolk, resulting in the formation of iron sulfide. Although this doesn't render the egg toxic, it clearly shows that the nutrients have been compromised during cooking. Consistently consuming overcooked eggs over time could lead to long-term health issues, particularly for seniors who are already at a higher risk for inflammation-related ailments. Consider Robert, for instance. At 76, he had enjoyed eggs for breakfast daily for many years. He enjoyed cooking them in a pan until they developed a crispy edge, believing it enhanced their flavor. However, as time went on, he began to experience digestive discomfort and an increase in heartburn episodes. Upon discovering the risks associated with oxidized cholesterol, he opted to prepare his eggs at a lower temperature, softly scrambling them rather than frying them harshly. In just a few weeks, he experienced a significant improvement, feeling less bloated and enjoying increased energy levels during the day. Overcooking eggs can lead to the loss of essential nutrients. Eggs provide a wealth of vitamin B12, folate, and antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, all of which contribute to the health of the brain and eyes. However, subjecting them to extended high temperatures greatly diminishes the availability of these vital nutrients, indicating that you might not be reaping the complete advantages of the eggs you consume. When you depend on eggs for significant nutrition, the method of cooking them is equally crucial as consuming them initially. Fortunately, you can continue enjoying eggs without having to worry about these risks. It's important to pay attention to your cooking methods. Cooking eggs at lower temperatures, such as through gentle boiling, poaching, or soft scrambling, helps maintain their nutrients and reduces oxidation. Frying eggs at a low temperature and steering clear of excessive browning can significantly contribute to their healthiness. Minor adjustments such as these can significantly enhance your food experience while minimizing potential health hazards. Secondly, consuming raw or undercooked eggs. A lot of individuals think that consuming raw or undercooked eggs is an excellent method to obtain optimal nutrition. Yet they often overlook the significant health risks involved. Eggs are rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals. However, eating them raw may put you at risk of harmful bacteria such as salmonella, which can lead to serious food poisoning. This is particularly alarming for older adults, as the immune system tends to decline with age, making it more difficult to combat infections. A mild illness that may affect a younger person can escalate into a serious condition for an older adult. If you've ever indulged in homemade mayonnaise, raw cookie dough, or runny eggs, you might have inadvertently exposed yourself to some risks. While salmonella contamination is uncommon, it is certainly not an issue to overlook. Signs of an infection may involve fever, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and potentially dehydration. This can rapidly escalate into a significant health concern for seniors, potentially resulting in hospitalization in more severe instances. Although many individuals believe that eggs purchased from the store are completely safe, even the most pristine-looking eggs can harbor bacteria if they have not been handled or stored correctly. Think about Margaret, a 68-year-old who enjoys beginning her mornings with a smoothie made from raw eggs. For years, she had been convinced that this was the optimal method to take in all the nutrients. However, one day she encountered intense stomach pain and nausea that persisted for several days. Following a visit to the doctor, she received a diagnosis of salmonella poisoning. She had no idea that the eggs she had been eating for so long might have been the culprit. Once she transitioned to fully cooked eggs, she experienced no further incidents and maintained her nutrient intake without any associated risks. A further reason to steer clear of raw eggs is that they have a compound known as abidine, which attaches to biotin, a crucial B vitamin that aids in metabolism, nerve function, and promotes healthy skin and hair. Consuming raw eggs can hinder the body's ability to absorb biotin due to the presence of abidine, potentially resulting in deficiencies over time. Cooking eggs deactivates abidine, enabling your body to fully absorb all the beneficial nutrients without any interference. Certain individuals argue that raw eggs are safe as long as they originate from organic or free-range sources. However, the reality is that any egg, no matter where it comes from, has the potential to harbor bacteria. To ensure your safety, it's important to cook your eggs thoroughly. Scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, and poached eggs that are cooked until both the whites and yolks are firm are all safe choices. For those who love runny yolks, opting for pasteurized eggs can help minimize the risk. However, ensuring they are cooked thoroughly is consistently the safest option. If you're still tuned into this video and appreciating these insights, drop a comment with the number 2 below to let me know you're present. If you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you go ahead and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the bell so you won't miss any videos. Your support enables us to keep producing valuable content that informs and inspires you. Let's proceed now. Improperly storing cooked eggs is number 3. Most individuals rarely consider the proper way to store their eggs once they've been cooked. However, inadequate storage can transform a perfectly fine meal into a hotspot for dangerous bacteria. When eggs are not stored properly or left at room temperature for an extended period, they can rapidly become unsafe for consumption. Bacteria grow quickly in warm conditions. Once eggs enter the danger zone of 40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, harmful pathogens can start to develop in just a few hours. This is particularly alarming for older adults regarding foodborne issues. Health issues generally affect older adults more profoundly than they do younger individuals. Leaving a plate of scrambled eggs on the counter for a few hours and then choosing to eat them could unknowingly expose you to some risks. As cooked eggs remain out for an extended period, the chances of bacteria like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. developing increase significantly. Coli. Refrigerating cooked eggs can effectively slow down bacterial growth, but it's essential to store them correctly in an airtight container and consume them within a few days. Hard-boiled eggs, for instance, ought to be eaten within a week unlike scrambled or fried eggs. Eggs should ideally be consumed within 3 to 4 days. Consider George, a 72-year-old who enjoyed preparing a big batch of scrambled eggs. At the start of the week, to streamline his cooking, he would store them in a loosely covered container in the fridge, taking out a portion each morning. However, after going through several episodes of stomach discomfort and nausea, he came to the conclusion that his storage habits could be the problem. Once he transitioned to airtight containers and started preparing smaller batches, he no longer experienced the same digestive issues. One more concern with eggs that are not stored correctly is the potential for cross-contamination. When cooked eggs are positioned close to raw meat, unwashed vegetables, or other contaminated items, they may take in harmful bacteria. It is a common belief that cooked eggs are safe due to the heating process they undergo. However, after they have cooled down, they can be just as susceptible to bacterial contamination as any other perishable item. A common oversight is the improper reheating of eggs. When you microwave leftover eggs and find them rubbery or smelling off, it's due to the fact that eggs don't reheat effectively. Excessive heat can ruin nutrients and result in a tough, unappealing texture. One effective approach is to carefully warm eggs on the stove at a low temperature, incorporating a small amount of moisture, such as a splash of water or broth, to prevent them from becoming dry. When using a microwave, it's best to heat them in short bursts and stir occasionally to preserve a more appealing texture. To prevent foodborne illnesses and maximize the benefits of your eggs, ensure they are stored correctly, kept in the refrigerator, and eaten within a safe period. Your approach to food can significantly impact your health. Proper egg storage can help avoid unnecessary digestive problems and ensure you feel your best. Using eggs that are damaged or expired is a mistake. One of the simplest methods to make eggs a health risk is by eating those that are cracked, expired, or not stored correctly. Even if eggs appear to be in good condition on the outside, if they are past their expiration date or have a minor crack in the shell, they might contain harmful bacteria such as salmonella. This is particularly crucial for older adults, as the aging process can weaken the immune system, making it more challenging to combat infections that younger people may recover from with greater ease. Many people have found themselves peering into their fridge, questioning the freshness of their eggs. While numerous individuals depend on the printed expiration date on the carton, they often overlook the fact that eggs may spoil prior to that date or remain good for a bit longer based on their storage conditions. A straightforward water test is the most effective method to assess freshness. Put an egg into a bowl filled with cold water. If it sinks and rests flat, it's fresh. If it remains upright, it's still fine, but it should be used soon. If it floats, it's advisable to discard it. Consider Evelyn, for instance. At 74, she is always mindful of her diet, yet she never considered the importance of inspecting her eggs before using them. One morning, she broke an egg into her frying pan and detected an odd odor, yet she dismissed it and proceeded to cook it regardless. Shortly after, she began to feel nauseous and had stomach cramps. Following a visit to the doctor, she discovered that she had food poisoning caused by a spoiled egg. After that day, she began performing the water test before using her eggs and never encountered another problem. How eggs are managed prior to arriving at your home is another crucial aspect. When eggs are kept at improper temperatures, whether during storage, transportation, or even in your refrigerator, they may form condensation, leading to an ideal setting for bacteria to thrive. It's essential to keep eggs in the coldest section of your refrigerator, rather than in the door, where temperature changes are more likely to occur. Broken eggs pose yet another concealed risk. Even if an egg appears to be in good condition when purchased, tiny hairline fractures can allow bacteria to enter. If you happen to bring home a cracked egg, it's advisable to discard it instead of taking any chances. The same applies to eggs that have an odd smell or any change in color. These are obvious indicators that they have spoiled and should be discarded. If you're still tuned into this video and appreciating these insights, drop a comment with the number 4 below to show me you're present. If you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you go ahead and subscribe and make sure to turn on the bell so you won't miss any videos. Your support enables us to keep producing valuable content that informs and inspires you. Let's proceed now. Fifth, mixing eggs with unhealthy cooking oils. A frequent error individuals encounter when cooking eggs is selecting an inappropriate type of cooking oil. Eggs are rich in high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients. But the type of oil you use for cooking can significantly impact whether your meal is nutritious or potentially harmful, leading to inflammation and long-term health issues. Many individuals are unaware that specific oils, particularly highly processed vegetable oils, degrade at elevated temperatures, producing harmful substances that can adversely affect your health over time.